What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and I am joined by Degenerate Jay. Jay, in this video, we've both talked about Johnny Depp quite a bit. So if you guys are new to the channel, you guys have been watching me for a long time. Well, firstly, let me just shout out Jay. Jay's done an incredible job. He actually talked about the Johnny Depp situation on his own channel, so I really encourage you guys to check that out. Check out his channel. I think he shares a lot of the same, and he may not be as big of a Pirates fan as me, but he's definitely a very, very interested in this, and he's talked a lot about it and done a fantastic job. So all his stuff is going to be in the description below. Guys, check him out. Obviously, if you guys aren't subscribed here, all my stuff, obviously subscribe, and all my other stuff is in the description. So we've talked about the petition on this channel. I mean, Jay kind of wrapped up everything in his video where he talked about the case, his own personal experience, lots of awesome stuff. We'll go over kind of where we both stand on it, but we've talked about the petition. We've talked about, are these movies better off without these characters? But for this, I really wanted to clear the air, because I think a lot of people may have the wrong opinion on what I've been saying over the last little while. So I want to do that, but I want to talk about how do we actually hurt these guys? Not physically, right? How do we actually make these guys pay? I got to make that known, right? Because people are going to run with it. How do we make them pay for what they've done? How do we make them pay for keeping Amber Heard? That's definitely one, right? And something we haven't really talked all that much about. And then also, how do we make Warner Bros. For Fantastic Beasts 3 and Disney for the Margot Robbie movie, and also Pirates 6, the actual official Pirates 6 that's happening? How do we make them pay? So before I go for 5 minutes here in my introduction, Jay, thank you for coming on.
Hey, dude, thanks for having me. I really do appreciate being here. Yeah, this was a very serious topic for me to cover on my channel, and I'm not getting into this like a pity party. Like, I'm mostly over it. But for me, a lot of people don't talk about different types of abuse, whether it's physical or emotional, any of these types, which have been identified as real types of abuse. I know I was in a very emotionally abusive, controlling relationship with someone who really treated me very, very badly. And I couldn't talk to anybody about it because I was the man. Nobody would really buy it. It was kind of like, well, why don't you leave, or why don't you just get over it, or why don't you just, grow a pair and be a man? Is kind of the response that men get on a lot of this stuff. And I do think as well, again, not to, say like, feel sorry for me, because you shouldn't. I think that needs to change. I think people need to be able to come out and talk about it. And I really do think that Johnny Depp's situation is a bit of a turning point in society, actually, for that a little bit. And this could be really, it sucks how Johnny's been screwed over. I 100% agree. And the man's not perfect. I've said that 100 times as well. I love him. Does he have a bit of a problem with drinking? Yeah. I think he'd admit that. He would say that as well. My dad did too at one point in his life. That doesn't make you a bad person. It's just an issue you have to work through. But I think a lot of people have conflated that with the abuse, and they've ignored things like in my video, I linked that there was a nurse on record saying that Amber Heard had an addiction issue and stuff like that. And people look the other way. Some Amber Heard fans look the other way on her failings, but then they point to Johnny's and say, see, so he's the bad guy. And I really don't like that narrative. We've seen that in the media a lot too. All of the media outlets covering this are like, oh, it's a win for women. It's a positive that this happened. But if you look at the general response, just to not to plug my own video, but it has 33,000 views. It has about 2,500 likes and only 28 dislikes. The general audience is on board with Johnny, just in general. Like, society has sided with him. And I think that there's no way that the media won't be able to see that. I don't think there's any way at some point that Warner and these art companies won't be able to see that we are starting to realize that abuse, it doesn't have anything to do with what's between your legs. It has to do with what type of person you are, the dichotomy in your relationship, and all this stuff. And I think it's important that we talk about how this will affect pirates, what we can do moving forward, and even the petition. Yeah, I totally, you and I are on the same page with this. I know it makes some people upset. Petitions generally don't change much. That's just the way it is, because the problem is that if a company doesn't feel that in their wallet, they're just like, oh, well, they think this, but they don't care because they'll pay for it, And I think that's kind of what we need to get into. Sorry, I ranted for like 3 minutes because this is a very serious topic to me that very much upsets me.
Totally. No, and you walked right into it too. So like the petition, that's where we want to go from here. So we talked about the petition, or I made a video on it, and to sum it up, my general thought is sign as many as you want. I'm completely okay and actually pro, making your voice be heard, right? There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, that's the best thing. That right now, it's the only thing we can do, right? We can say justice for Johnny on Twitter. Like Jay said, we can, like these videos that do pretty good, the overwhelming majority is for Johnny Depp. Fantastic. Those are great things. But they're just numbers. At this point, literally, they are numbers that really do not hurt anybody. They don't. They don't hurt Amber Heard. She's confirmed she's an Aquaman 2, right? Obviously, she's not. I mean, she may be crying about it, but she's not, showing it in public. So what can we actually do? Well, that comes to the controversial thing, right? The thing I've actually mentioned before in these videos. The answer is you speak with your wallet. If you don't like what's going on, you don't support these things. So Aquaman 2, you don't go see it. And that hurts Amber Heard. That shows Warner Bros. You did this for Johnny. You didn't do it for Amber. We don't want to see this movie with it. The movie could be The movie could be great. In fact, I loved Aquaman. I thought it was a really good movie. More fun. Maybe not like a well put together like masterpiece, but it was a fun movie. Aquaman 2, I want to see it. Now we'll get into that more controversial thing later. I want to see it, but if you really hate this, don't go watch it. Pirates, obviously, you guys that are Pirates fans, 4 years running, right? There's a lot we can do in terms of just not going to see those movies. We have two to choose from in this case, right? We can not support the Margot Robbie one, and we cannot support that actually for more than one reason, not even just Johnny Depp. And then Pirates 6, if they announce Pirates 6 and they say, okay, this is in the Jack Sparrow lineage, but we're not having him. Gibbs will be in it because why not? We'll have some characters, but it's going to be whoever. And honestly, I don't know what, because remember, there was the rumors of Karen Gillan, and then it was Margot Robbie, and now it is Margot Robbie, but that's a spin-off movie. So we don't actually know who would even be in this official in the timeline Pirate 6, but if you don't like it, you don't go see the movie. I'll end with my controversial opinion, and I'll let Jay talk so maybe people forget about what I say. But I would say I agree with that, and you have every right to do that, and I've always been very vocal on that. My reasons for seeing them, because that's what I will end up doing. I know that makes people mad, right? Because I'm over here as like the sound horn, just saying, all these things about this, and then I say, well, I'm going to still go see the movie. I mean, it is up to you, and I look at it much like I looked at it before. You could call me hypocritical because I'm spending my money on it, and that is a way to hurt them. I see it as I have this channel, I have you guys, I've been very dedicated, probably more than anybody, I would say. I don't think that's unfair to say. In 4 years, I've been the most dedicated to Pirates on the internet. I would go so far to say that. And so I think I do have some sort of power to, if I see this movie and it is garbage, I'm going to be honest about it. Yeah, it is a statement to not see these things, to tell them we don't like it. It's also a statement to talk about them, especially when they happen, and then to influence other people to see it or not see it. So that's I know not everybody's going to agree with that, but generally, I mean, these movies mean a lot to me. I know they mean a lot to you guys too. I'm not saying like they mean more to me than anybody else. They mean a lot. I will end up seeing them. Maybe not Aquaman 2. I've never really thought about Aquaman 2 all that much. It's very likely that I don't see Aquaman 2 in theaters. I wouldn't be surprised. I really don't see a path that I think I'm seeing the two Pirates movies. I really don't think I'm going to miss out on those. But call me hypocritical. I see the fact that I can probably influence people afterwards to not see this movie. That may have not made sense. That may have made people more angry. So Jay, talk, and then everybody forget what I said.
Yeah, well, so here's the thing. I do want to say to back you up, not just to give you an ego rub down. But this is a very important franchise to you for a few reasons. You said one, like you told me, you met your wife through Pirates of the Caribbean in a way, which is, that's a big deal. For me, just to give you an example of that, I played Skyrim almost almost every day for a few years with my dad. We had a couple different characters that we would play on. And because of that, I can critique Skyrim. I can, but Skyrim's very important to me, as a game. It has a lot of sentimental and emotional value that I can't divorce from that thing. And I think that's important. That's something that you buy into emotionally for different reasons, and that's fine. I also think as well that you do cover Pirates. You have almost, I will say, I don't know if I'd say responsibility, but a bit of an obligation to your audience that loves this content to keep covering it and talk about it as long as you have a passion for it. And I don't think there's anything wrong with someone going to see the movie, whether it's you for that reason, because I think you have multiple investments and reasons to see it, or someone else. And also, I will say, I think you talking about it is a way for other people not to see it. And what I
Right.
mean by that is technically, if people want to, they can come to your channel, Alex, and watch your takes on the new Pirates movie and be like, well, he bought the ticket, but the 30 of us didn't because
Right.
of this.
Exactly.
That gives them an outlet to do that. And I will say, too, for me, I don't think that I will pay to see Pirates of the Caribbean. And I'm not saying that because of what you said. I don't have the same level of investment, even though I love them, but I do want to watch it still. So for me, what I will probably do is buy it secondhand or on eBay or something like that, where somebody already paid for it and I'm not giving the company more money, but where I can see it later on. Unless I do have an AMC membership, unless I get a free ticket or something like that, because I get multiple free tickets a week to movies technically. So whenever this movie comes out, if that is still a program and I can justify it that way, maybe I'll just go see it like that and give the theater some money for popcorn that doesn't go to the company and move on from there with my life. But I don't think I would pay real money. And I do think that to call you to do what you want, I don't really like calling for boycotts. But I think that if you want to show them that you dislike what they're doing, the way to do it is not to see this and to talk about it online. And I'm not saying review bomb the movie that you didn't see, because I think that's immature. And I think that that comes off to that. Then companies just double down. You know, a lot of people did that for The Last Jedi, even that didn't see the movie. And it had so many problems, and I totally get its criticisms. But if you're reviewing the movie and you didn't see it, one, people can tell, and two, then the company just thinks that all of their criticism is from haters, basically, or people that wouldn't be happy anyway, and then they won't take any of it into account.
Right.
So I think that we have to be careful about how we do that, and I think that a way not to do this, and your audience would never do this, but just to kind of reiterate it, like you said, is it's not to send death threats to people or to freak the hell out and get really emotional and stuff like that, but it's to say, hey, this is wrong. I don't support this. You need to hold these two people to the same accountability. For example, Johnny showed physical evidence in court. Amber didn't show very good physical evidence in court, in my opinion, from everything that we have and the court transcripts and stuff like that. So why are you holding Johnny to a standard that you won't hold Amber to? These are the kinds of things that we need to push to all these companies. And at the end of the day, we also kind of need to get back to a point where not that you ignore everything. Like if someone is just the scum of the earth, I'm avoiding the words for daddy YouTube here and for your channel, but maybe they are someone who does kind of the Jared from Subway type thing or something awful like that. Absolutely. I get that we push them out of their position and we kind of try and get them into the court system and into jail and move on and not give them a bunch of money. But I do think as well that Hollywood needs to start realizing that some of these things they're dragging into their movies from actors' personal lives that are not that level of insanity is not good for anyone. It makes the company look bad. It makes the actors look bad. It makes the movies make less money. It makes us less interested. It makes more people like you and me, who I would say have a bit more of a platform on YouTube or on Twitter or on any of these places that we are, complain about it. And then more people see it. How many people out of the 33,000 that found my Johnny Depp video so far wouldn't have found it if I hadn't talked about it? You know, there's definitely some. So we are bringing attention to this bad behavior. And yeah, I don't know. I know my thoughts were a little scattered on it, so apologies on that. But it's just very frustrating. I don't like how they won't hold these things to the same standard. I think it's all or nothing, in my opinion. And maybe that's a little too black and white, but you can't hold one of them to a standard and then say it doesn't apply to the other one because of their gender or sexuality or whatever. I think that that's awful.
Right.
I think that depending on who you did that to, that would be a lawsuit and sexist. If this was the other way around and Amber Heard had all the proof, all of it, and Johnny had none, and they sided with Johnny, this would be seen as a sexist call, you know? So why isn't it this way? And I know that that gets into a much more deep conversation that maybe we probably don't have the time or even the emotional energy to get into, but it's all very frustrating. And I do think we need to make our voices heard in a, as Obi-Wan would say, civilized way.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, to end this, I think what we've seen so far is good. I think these petitions probably do speak. They don't speak right now to the companies, but they speak that when you go online, it's Johnny. You know, people are for Johnny Depp. I have been, Jay has been. I mean, no one's hiding that, right? Fantastic Beasts 3 will be hurt. Pirates. Well, I think Pirates will be the most hurt, which is actually in a way sad, and in also a way, I guess, justice, right? So like these movies will be affected. Aquaman 2 will absolutely be affected. Okay, it's more of like a wait for those, right? Because right now we have likes on YouTube videos, we have comments, we have Twitter hashtags, we have petitions. That's all we have now, and it is powerful because we're all kind of I don't know, like lining up in the same line, right? We're all on the same side here. Once these movies come out, then it's time for these companies to realize, oh, shoot, we messed up, or we picked the wrong person, or whatever, or maybe we should have looked at the evidence a little closer. Those are the things we're going to see over the next coming years. And very soon, because I think these Pirates movies are not very far off. Obviously, Fantastic Beasts 3 got delayed again, so it's like 2 years away. Aquaman 2, I think that's 2 years away. So we have a little while to wait, but that just makes people honestly more mad when they'll forget about this stuff and then they'll come back out and they'll say, oh, yeah, I remember what they did to Johnny, and that's when we're going to see, I think, the justice. So let us know in the comments below, guys. What do you think about this? How are you going to not support, certain of these movies in order to make a statement? Let us know. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed here. Hit the bell icon, all that good stuff. I have a Twitter, I have a Discord, I have a second channel. You guys can check all that in the description. All J stuff, same place, description and pinned comment. Again, he talked about Johnny Depp. If you guys haven't watched that video, very, very good. I watched it start to finish. It was fantastic. So make sure you guys go on Jay's channel, subscribe there, watch his videos. I'm sure as more stuff comes out, or when Pirates, all that stuff, I'm sure we'll do more stuff on this going forward. So Jay, thank you so much for being on this video.
Hey, dude, thanks for having me. Like I always say, I have a really fun time. Your audience is really great. I really appreciate you and them. And, I hope to see some of your audience as well, maybe over on my channel, because they're all very nice people and I very much appreciate them.
Awesome. So let us know anything you guys want to talk about in the comments, and we'll see you all on the next video.